Hello everyone, I am Aniket. I welcome you all. And today's very interesting topic, blockchain and its working. So let's start the presentation. I will show you first what is the content of this session, and then we will move towards actual presentation of this blockchain concept. So it's very interesting and easy. So we will understand what is prerequisite for understanding this course, what is motivation and examples, real life examples for understanding this concept, then introduction, working blockchain ecosystem, then applications of blockchain, then challenges, and then future scope and conclusion we will see. So what can be a prerequisite for this course? Student having CS and IT background can easily understand, but still if you are from a different discipline of engineering, then still not a problem for you. We will understand, just read about this, what is client server architecture, what is centralized system, what is decentralized system. I will give example of Indian railway reservation system, that is a group of servers accepting crores of requests daily, and they are acting as a one centralized system. They are acting as a one server and fulfilling the request all over the India. The many lakhs of people daily book the ticket, they cancel the ticket, and they communicate with this servers of Indian Railway. So this is an example of centralized system, but database and the servers are actually distributed. They can be at different location but acting as one server or acting as one group of server. So what is database you should know, then it will be very easy. Then what is architecture, then what is peer-to-peer network, then if you know the working of online banking transaction, definitely of course nowadays everybody is doing online transaction. But if you have understanding how the gateway works, how the online transaction works, and we can do a payment, we can book a tickets, etc. So if you have those concept a little in depth, so that will be a very good to understand this concept very easily. So we will move towards next point. It will be good if you know the algorithm and data structure, because blockchain works on the complex algorithms. So let's understand with this example what is blockchain actually. So imagine there are boys who are playing cricket, and one boy, they don't have official umpire, so they choose a one boy and ask him that please act as umpire here. And the boy says okay, he's just licking the ice cream and doing umpiring. He's just noting down in his mind what is score of this team, how much over are done, and etc etc, the details about the match. So what happens, his ice cream, he finishes his ice cream and stops doing umpiring, and he asks to the team, the both teams, he asks that I will not do umpiring now, I need to go. Then team requests, no no no, this match is in middle, very interesting at point, you cannot live like that. So he asks that please give me ice cream, then I will continue for an hour, or half an hour. So they gives again ice cream to him, he again starts licking and do umpiring. So that is what simple example here. So what happens after some time, he is licking ice cream, and then his mother comes and takes him to the home, and then the both team are in dilemma because the score, nobody's recorded score of that match, then score also went, umpire also went. Then they tried to find one solution for this. So this is called as centralized system, where we have one umpire, and one umpire is only judging all the things, he have all the data with the data of the match, and that is called as centralized system. So now we will move forward and understand, we will compare this with actually a payment gateway system, because when we do any transaction, that the payment gateway system, they demand some money, some charges, let's say 2% 3% something behind each and every online transaction. So that is what the one problem of today's, like you can see, online transaction system. Now this was the example I have given to you, and we lost the data, we lost the umpire. So now the team decided to have a solution for this. That is what they decided, both team they came together and decided that we all will keep the data. We have the consensus, that is called as सर्वसम्मति और एक मत, हम सब डिस्कस कर लेंगे और फाइनल कर लेंगे कि ये आउट हो गया तो रिकॉर्ड कर लो, मेंटेन कर लो कि ये आउट हो गया, सब अभी ये नोट कर लो कि आउट हो गया, या फिर दिस हैज अ 6 और something. So they all will have a consensus and they will decide together. So that is what as decentralized system, where each and every person, each and every team member is acting as a umpire here. So now they will discuss, and if any dispute is there, they will solve the dispute. So this is they have solved the problem with centralized one umpire, the centralized system. So this was the analogy for you to understand this system of blockchain. But the real problem is with centralized system is trust. And also there are real life examples I will give you, like banks nowadays, they have limitations on transactions, debit and withdrawal. They have certain limitations, and they can that can be changed. Okay, so in 2015 in Greece, banks stopped all the account deposits and implemented the rule of daily withdrawal limit of $70, because bank is on the way of closing down. And they asked all customers that you can daily took only this amount of money. And that was a challenging, that was the greatest problem faced by public of Greece. Then we can understand about this problem occurred in developed countries. Okay, so just think about the India and other developing countries, what can happen. So what can be another option if we don't rely on the real-time bank? So citizens can store money, but again this will be have risk of looting the money by thieves. And this is also a risk to the life of a person. So that's why we will try to understand the another problem. So people can invest in real time real estate. But what happens, like again if you buy some let's say some property real estate, and then you have urgency of money, then you have to sell on the time. Then that time you have to compromise with the cost. And that is again you can say disadvantage of the centralized system. So now this was the short and sweet philosophy of blockchain. Again, I am emphasizing the system was of decentralized, and that's how the blockchain works. So just there are three main problems we have studied it. The first problem is the trust problem with centralized system of data, because data can be changed. Hackers can hack a centralized server and can change and modify data, and that will be affect all over the places. Then online money transfer constant across the globe. Actually, this problem faced by me. I taught one of the Turkish student the database management system. I taught him, and then the problem came that he wanted to transfer me money fees, but he in let's say India is advanced in UPI nowadays, UPI payment, but that country don't have UPI. I was having a PayPal account, but he was not ready to pay because he has issue with the bank. And then finally, the solution was money transfer. That was you can say Western Union, that he sent over by using Western Union. Then I went there. I wasted my 90 minutes, 60 minutes, 90 minutes. Then they took my data, and again I got some money. So that was a problem with online money transfer. And that that you can say Bitcoin is one of the small part, but blockchain can solve in future. So costly money transactions, data validation problems. And this is what you can see a motivation for this blockchain. You can see a references where I have taken from the research papers and the presentations. So now we have understood this decentralized system and about blockchain. And now read these points. You will be very happy to understand, and you will get definitely interest to study this blockchain. Blockchain can record exchanges between two parties contextually in an undeniable and lasting manner. This was one author's saying. Blockchain is more than technology. That is of course true. Then in the context of Bitcoin, electronic currency book system by peer-to-peer network. Okay, again blockchain is not Bitcoin, but Bitcoin uses blockchain philosophy along with the other algorithms. So you should know that blockchain means it does not mean Bitcoin, but Bitcoin uses blockchain technology. It is providing a new approach for storing authorized data using peer-to-peer network. So it's like a ledger, it's like a bookkeeping, that's called as blockchain. Okay, so blockchain is created by the Satoshi Nakamoto, and it's like open distributed ledger. A ledger means you can say understand a book where we keep a daily track of transactions and record. Each block contains unique calculated hash against the data contained in it, and it also has a hash value of previous block. So in detail we will understand. You can read some research papers about the blockchain, you can read some books and get in detail how it does work, but just I am giving the general idea, and then we will gradually proceed towards the exact working. Hash is 256 bit number that uniquely identifies the data of block. Okay, a first block contain null value instead of values of previous block hash value. When any transaction takes place, the miner have a computation to validate the transaction using computation power. Miner uses the public can run the complex algorithms of validation. I know that you are not understanding this. Just I am reading. Just try to read along with me, and then I will explain you this working flow diagram. One miner will validate the transaction and broadcast this in peer-to-peer network. Other participant and miners will add transaction block in the databases. Once block is added, the data is immutable. Any participant cannot change the data in the block. It needs authorization. Change in data causes change in hash key. So calculation of hash key of multiple block becomes computationally impossible. Okay. So just I will skipping this point and I am telling you this working. Okay. So now that this I was explaining to all of you, so understand what happens in blockchain is there are different servers, or you can say a computational servers having high computations. They are connected in peer-to-peer network, and what any transaction happens, then message will be sent to all the servers, and they will have a computation to generate, to solve one puzzle, to generate one hash key, and that process is called as mining. So one node, one server will be winner of that, and he will propagate this message, he will give this hash key to the all the other servers, and then they will update their record, and each server has this record. So we have data, and this hash key is calculated against this data, and each block, this is like a linked list. Hope you have studied linked list in engineering. So this linked list, like you can understand, each block has a hash key of previous block, and it has its data. Okay, and again new hash will be generated. So if any new hash is being generated, then that will be depending on the data of the block and the previous hash key. Means what? This hash key is immutable. Hackers cannot modify this hash key, and if they want to modify this, then they have to take over the 51% of the nodes, 50% of the servers, and then they can solve this puzzle, they can take over, and then they can modify data. Okay, so just this, hope you have understood this working in small way. So this what you can understand, those are the miners. So miners, I told that the miners are the special machines who have high computation powers, and they calculate the hash key against the data. So node 2 is a miner here, then node 4 is miner, then node 12 is miner, node 10 is miner, node 8 is a miner. Others are the servers or nodes who are only keeping the data of this blockchain. Okay, they are only keeping this record of data against hash key. Okay, so transaction one occurs, then this is called as what is proof of work. Miner competes for verification of transaction. Miners solve complex mathematical puzzle for creating hash. It is called as mining. So very important, what is mining? They compete, they calculate the value of hash. Okay, and then this is called as mining. Okay, and this process is called as proof of work. Who validated the transaction, who solves first get a mining award. What is proof of stake? Here nodes are not competing for the mining award reward. Instead, a single node is selected to validate the next hash and get fees for energy efficient. Okay, so proof of stake means one calculates, and another node, he what it does, he verifies the hash value. Okay, he again recompares, authorize, and then he gets some fee. Okay, so what is working now? You have, hope you have understood the working of this blockchain. Then working after a transaction is validated using keys and cryptographic algorithms by miner. Miner will broadcast to all the nodes and miners. Okay, understand difference between nodes and miners here. Then other miners will stop mining. Now miners once one miner will give message to all that I have calculated the hash key, then other miner, they will not work unnecessarily, they will stop working. That will save energy. And then now miners and all nodes will update database with the adding new block of transaction which has transaction data and hash and previous hash. So what one block has, it has a data, it has a hash and previous hash. So valid and secure transactions are allowed in blockchain. Blockchain cannot have invalid or inaccurate or modified transaction. It will only contain the valid transaction because lots of competition power is invested to authorize the transaction. Cyber attacks including DDoS. So hope you will know what is a distributed denial of service attack. So what is denial of service attack? Let's say you have one server, you have hosted one website on the server, and I have requesting, like I have putting lots of requests, let's say 30 lakh requests to your server, then your server will not work. That is called as denial of service. No user of this server, anybody in the world who is using the services of this server, will not get any service because it is already uh, occupied by the unnecessarily hackers request. So this is called as distributed denial of service attack. And how we can stop this attack? We can block one particular IP address where the requests are coming, so we can block this IP address and then we can stop this denial of service attack. But denial of DDoS, denial of distributed denial of service attack, is more dangerous, it's more vulnerable than DOS attack, because in DDoS, the hackers, they are putting the request to a server from different machines all over the world. They can have a 15, 20, n number of machines who are concentrating on one machine, one server, where this all the requests are sent, and you cannot block at that time, you cannot block particular IP address because you have n number of IP address where requests, unnecessarily requests are coming, and that is what dangerous. So still this DDoS attack also cannot stop blockchain from working. It cannot you can say it cannot make invalid transaction, and security cannot be break of this blockchain system. Okay, so hope you have understood this point. Then fraud transaction, like one person is trying to do $20 transaction, but he have only 5, will not be added in the block. If one machine have this amount of balance, so he is trying to give somebody $20, it is not possible in blockchain. Okay, for block A, which comes 6 blocks before, nobody can change the data within that block. Means I have 6 block, 1 2 3 4 5 6. Then first block's data cannot be changed after 6 transaction. Okay, that simple. Changing data in the block leads to change in hash value of block. Okay, that is also important, because we cannot change if we change the data, then hash value will be changed. Okay, so it will become invalid transaction, and reference will be also invalid, so whole chain will be invalid. So that's why this is not possible. The data of transaction stored in the block will be immutable and permanent. The blocks are available to all participants. Yes, the data is with everyone, and if every once one node crashes down and we have replaced one, like we have replaced physical node, then still we can have the data secure because data it is with all the system. If hackers will like occupy the 51% of the nodes that I told, then there is a probability that they can exploit the data, but that is not possible because at a time hackers cannot take over 50% of the nodes. Okay, that is also now you can see this blockchain ecosystem. Now there are different layers: infrastructure layer, consensus mechanism, that what to do a server sammati, distributed computing, then distributed storage for blockchain, then industry applications, exchanges, wallets, money transactions, and privacy and identity. This is what ecosystem. You can read this in detail. Okay, so now just we will move towards this application, what can be applications of blockchain, and it's quite interesting for all of you. Okay, so secure sharing of medical data. If you put this data like block data, which against what which we are calculating the hash key, this is called as secure medical data. Nowadays Indian government also started this system, but I don't know they are using blockchain or not. Music royalties tracking, then cross border payments, payments to different countries, it will be very easy. Real time IoT based system, because IoT again needs security of transaction. Personal identity security, anti money laundering tracking system. Then there are different applications you can see of blockchain. So, what are the challenges with blockchain? Scalability. Still in India, there are a few companies who are coming working on the blockchain technology. Scalability is most difficult here because you need to have a lot of computational power in your nodes. For miners, that is difficult. Lack of talent, because you can see in India also still only 50% of the universities in all over the world are offering this course on blockchain. Resilience, irreversibility, quantum computing, and lack of standards, because there is no general standard in blockchain mechanism. So we can see a problem with Bitcoin still now. Till now, the Bitcoin is not accepted globally. So this is what challenge with this technology. Energy consumption. You can have a lot of you need a lot of energy consumption for this blockchain processing. Okay, now the conclusion here is, hope you have enjoyed this session, you're understanding what I'm trying to say. We have studied blockchain, its need, its working and benefits. Now one can study implementation in depth. Basic structure of interest for transaction needs to be changed. Okay, so we can understand, but if you change the basic structure, then we can understand in depth. Blockchain is move from centralized to decentralized system which provides immutable data, transparent transaction, and data system. So one application I thought this, just wanted to share with you. So what can be a future scope? Now it's my own thinking and understanding. Like blockchain can give a valid information of employee. It can replace the job portals like Naukri.com, or information. Any employer need not to have rely on, you can say, information given by the candidate. The all information of every employee can be stored in a data block structure with hash value, and that will be a immutable data to all the employees, or all the career profile, or its university marks and records, etc. So previous record of job and previous company's salary will be can be stored in blockchain. Then it will definitely reduce the cost of verification of records and details of using third parties in the companies. And the data companies will get will be verified and authorized data, and also employee will be free from giving unnecessary documents and proofs to prove the job details and etc. So hope you like this video. These are the references where I taken the information and studied, so you can note. And if you have any question or comment on this topic, please write in comment section. And also don't forget to subscribe this channel, because I will be bringing you a new topic like this, which will be very helpful for you in your career and in your engineering. So thank you very much